How's it going, people? Today I'm going to be talking about Color Out of Space on 4K Blu-ray, and like all my other reviews, I'm going to start off with the movie itself, and this movie was one that I was actually looking forward to. It is why I'm actually reviewing it right now. Not a lot of people actually saw this, and not a lot of people are reviewing it in 4K, and I heard it was pretty good. I heard that Nicolas Cage delivers a great cagey performance as, wild and crazy man as he tends to. And you know what? That is absolutely right here. And what this is about is Nicolas Cage and his family live a very secluded life, and they seem to be running from something that you kind of learn a little bit of that backstory later on. But in their home in the woods, a meteor falls down, and then weird things start happening to the family. This movie is very Lovecraftian. This movie is very H.P. Lovecraft, and if you are looking for a movie that just really embodies that Lovecraft nature, you will like this movie. And if you like movies that really have the kind of like a Hellboy, or the first Hellboy anyway, or a vibe like John Carpenter's The Thing, this movie definitely has that in its creature design. But what I will say is that it definitely embodies more of that H.P. Lovecraft style, and for that I really did like this movie. And the performances, specifically by Nick Cage, he is unhinged here, and he is at his cagiest. It is a great, just out of its mind performance. I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. And getting into the video quality here, now this is actually pretty interesting. So this movie actually has a 4K digital intermediate, which means that this is actually native 4K. But what I will say is it has no HDR. So all of the bright colors that are in this movie, and a lot of that, HDR hasn't been applied here, so it isn't going to amplify that as much in this 4K presentation. Now, what I will say here is that they are lucky to have a presentation that just looks amazingly crisp and amazingly clear. And I mean just really fine edges, and just landscapes that have a whole lot of edge and detail to them. As far as detail is concerned, you get a whole lot in facial features, and just in the more natural setting of going out into the woods, and just the overall ground from where the meteor hits. You can see individual specks of dirt. Not a whole lot of detail in the CGI here. The CG is what it is. This is a very low budget movie, and there isn't a whole lot to the CGI of this film. But what I will say is there definitely is a lot of detail when it comes to the more practical effects too that happen towards the later half of this movie. Now, as far as the color palette goes, it is what it is. It has no HDR, but it definitely is bright, colorful, and vibrant. I would have loved this to have HDR. I feel like you would need your sunglasses for that. It would be that damn good. It's a shame, but still, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. I actually feel like this is a damn good 4K presentation, even though no HDR. And as far as the audio is concerned here, this is actually a DTS HD 5.1 mix that is perfectly fine. Matter of fact, I felt like it was rather good. Speaker separation is so-so. I could have used a little bit more from time to time, but it is fine. And surrounds are heavily used. I feel like bass response definitely kicks when it needs to, when you get the creatures that end up coming out from this movie, and I won't go any more into that because of, spoilers. But, what I will say is that is excellent as well. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. This is what you would expect it to be. Now, there is no digital copy here. That is something that I actually want to stress. For some reason, this didn't come with one, but all of the special features are actually on the 4K Blu-ray, which is awesome. And what you basically get is 2 featurettes that go into the making of the film, and that is awesome. One of them actually focuses more on the Lovecraft elements here, which is great. And then you get a photo gallery. It's kind of light here, but at least all of them are on the 4K disc. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. And as far as my last looks at Color Out of Space, this movie is a very different, very crazy look at the world of H.P. Lovecraft, and for that, I do love it. I love Nicolas Cage's performance here. Once things get rolling and once the crazy things keep on happening, I feel like he definitely lives up to his more cagey roles, and I just feel like this is just a real cool short movie to watch that never really overstays its welcome. And for that, I am actually going to give Color Out of Space a 30 out of 40. What I'll say about that is, hey, if you're interested in this movie, pick it up in 4K, because you're definitely going to get a transfer that is very pleasing, and even though it doesn't have HDR, I feel like this is still good. So, coming up next on the channel, I do have to get into Knives Out. And that is one that I'm looking forward to reviewing for you guys, and I'm going to watch that right after this. So, if you're excited about that, and if you saw this already, comment down below, let me know about it. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. You guys are awesome. I don't need to say it because you know it. And I will see all of you next time.